Oh, I can't believe how messed up last night's Iowa caucuses got. I was expecting results around 10 p.m., and it is now 10, almost 11 a.m. the next day, and we still don't have any results. And I've been having some anxiety about this for a while. I've been alive for almost 29 years now, and this is by far the most consequential election in my lifetime. And because the amount of damage and violence that Trump would be able to cause with another term just cannot be understated. But on the other side of the spectrum, if Bernie wins, he'll easily be the best president we've had in our modern history. So the swing is so large, and we've got so many things we need to focus on as a country: climate change, healthcare, and it's just. And yeah, I was stressed out about the Democratic primary yesterday, or the last few weeks, because I don't think any of the other top contenders like Biden, Buttigieg, and Warren can beat Trump. They just don't have the grassroots support necessary to get it done. And yeah, I'm just waiting to see what else the Democratic establishment is just gonna try to do to stop Bernie. And last night it seemed like that. I'm trying not to be like a conspiracy theorist, but the fact that he and Pete were clearly in the lead, and they came up with this mess to lessen the coverage of whoever won. It seems pretty on brand for the Democratic establishment. I don't know if they're going to try to stop him with superdelegates, and the smears have already come in at full force already. But so yeah, last few days I've just been doing whatever I can to distract myself from last night's caucuses. They opened at 8, and I was just like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to just not track every little thing. So I was like working, making videos, playing games, and just doing something else. But I tuned in at around 10 when the results were supposed to come in, but apparently everything is just so messed up. Yeah, I thought it was very important that Bernie starts strong and wins Iowa and starts to build momentum, or at the very least doesn't lose to Joe Biden. And yeah, the polls show him winning too, and he's historically stronger in caucuses, but they changed the rules a little this time, and as much as his surge seems to be real, my anxiety just isn't going away until I see these results. And so if he winds up losing to Pete, it's not the worst thing in the world, because Pete doesn't have a path forward with how little support he has among people of color, especially the black community. It's like between 0 and 1% at some point. Yeah, and if Bernie wins, that's good. Hopefully he can carry that momentum forward. My objective brain told me that he might have a chance to really pull off a big win, but not entirely sure what's happening now. I thought... So in the 2016 election, I donated a few times, and still felt anxiety. I couldn't volunteer back then because I was taking care of my grandparents. But this time I've been able to donate. I've been able to volunteer when I can, but still doesn't calm down my nerves. Because yeah, this election is going to shape the future of our world, actually, not just the United States. And last night's shenanigans just... If I didn't hate Pete Buttigieg enough already, what he did... what we found out about him last night just made me hate him even more. So the app that malfunctioned and wasn't able to take a good call of the total amount of votes. So that was actually developed by a company called Shadow, which that sounds bad enough as it is. And Pete Buttigieg actually gave them money to develop the app, which makes no sense. Like, imagine if in the general election, we all vote using an app, and then we find out it was Donald Trump who paid for the app. That's the level of ridiculousness this is. And I don't know, he paid for it with campaign funds, but campaign funds are meant to help him win. So that if him paying the app didn't help him in the polls, then I feel like it's a misappropriation of campaign funds. And if it did help him, that's a betrayal of to our democracy. He's a traitor. So either way, it doesn't look good for him. I mean, it's not possible. It's very, very unlikely that he just did it out of the goodness of his heart, which still would be against campaign, which still be a misappropriation of funds in my view. But at the very least, it's insanely stupid to do this, especially since people will be really disappointed when they find out the truth. To be fair, he did try to cover it up. The Iowa Democratic Party did try to cover it up. I mean, to be fair, as if it's a good thing that they try to cover something up. But yeah, I've been waiting so long for these results, and man, I don't even know what's gonna happen now. The boost to Bernie's campaign, I'm operating under the assumption that Bernie won, because he was in the lead. He's been in the lead in the polls. I just wanted some confirmation so I don't need to keep stressing out. But yeah, whoever the winner was, they should have gotten a big bump in media coverage after Iowa, because yeah, that's what Iowa's for. The 41 delegates doesn't really matter how it's split up. They're close enough that everybody's gonna get, like, it's gonna be a difference of like a few delegates here and there. So 41 divided a few ways between Bernie, Warren, Pete, and Biden, and Klobuchar possibly. But yeah, it's just the whole point was the media coverage, and now the media is focused on the mess of Iowa rather than the winner, which is disappointing. Because as much as I dislike Pete, if he did win, he deserves that coverage. It's a huge story that he was able to beat out Vice President Biden and Bernie Sanders, who were both leading in the polls. But yeah, if Bernie won, it's just more of the same of them trying to quash whatever momentum he has, and yeah, it's super disappointing. Anyway, guys, yeah, this is just so messed up with this whole Iowa thing. Looking forward to hopefully seeing some actual results soon, and we're on to New Hampshire. I'm going to be texting. I haven't knocked on doors in the actual states like Iowa and New Hampshire, but I think I'll do that in New York eventually, or at least try to get more people voted, more people to vote, more people registered to vote, because this is so important. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys soon. I'm so just tired from being stressed out. All right, bye, friends.